I rode a immigrant car to Wisconsin. Took a guy's stuff there in that way. I was supposed to get paid $10 for it, and of course he didn't pay me. However, I did work around there. And I and my buddy who went with me, we worked around there and saved up enough money to go to the World's Fair in Chicago. Then, of course, we had to hitchhike home because we were broke. We were always broke after one of these ventures. And when I came home, there was no work there, so I joined the CC's for about 9 months. And come out of there with a little money. Not very much, because at those times you got $5 for yourself for the month, and $25 was sent home to your folks. So it was not a big thing. After that, I worked for my brother in the hatchery and cream business, and then I got urgings to be independent, so I started a cream station and a produce place in Genoa, Nebraska, which lasted exactly as long as my $20 did, which was about 6 months, incidentally, along with what little business I picked up. After that, I worked for my brother a little while, and then I got a job in Fullerton, Nebraska, where incidentally I met my future wife, Helen. And I worked there for Jerpy Produce Company. In fact, I leased the place from them for peanuts, about $10 a month, and I started a feed and cream business there, and I did pretty good. In fact, I did good enough that they decided to take it back over and hire me. Now, being young and cocky, and only having gone bust once, I thought they can't do that to me, so I said, no, you can shove it. And I did it. It's a good word. So I found a job in Iowa, Brecksville, Iowa, where a widow had been left the hatchery because the hatchery guy owed her husband $1,000, and her husband got killed in a train wreck. This note came up in amongst his estate. He couldn't pay it, so we walked over and gave her the keys to the hatchery. She didn't know how to run it, so I got the job of running it. And being I had a good, steady job, and it was paying $25 a week then, which was pretty good. I went back and started courting Helen again. And we got married in 1940. We got married. And I worked for this gal. And then she wasn't going to hire me through the summer. See, hatching season only ran through the winter and the spring. So I got permission to buy chickens and sell feed the rest of the time. And I did pretty good. Again, I did good enough that she decided to put me on a salary and keep the income herself for the year. Again, still being kind of cocky, newly married. However, we did have a child on the way, but that was beside the point. I told her I was leaving, but I did stay 3 months to train a new man for her. And then, luckily, just before my time was up there, I found a place I could lease in Sioux Rapids, Iowa. And we leased that place. In fact, we had saved up $300 by then by raising some chickens in that way. And we pretty well spent that for stock in that way, and then I kind of ran out of money. So I told the guy I leased from that I'd probably have to turn it back to him and work for him. And well, they didn't want that, which I was banking on. So he did loan me the money, enough money to buy hatching eggs and hatch chicks. And also during this time, of course, Vanya was born. You want to step over here, Vanya, so I can see what my first child looked like? And she was born in 1942. In fact, February 1st, 1942, and then, of course, my second daughter was born. Time went pretty fast, and I was busy working. My second daughter was born in 1943, December 43. They were about 18 months apart. And about that time, I decided not to lease anymore. I wanted to buy the place. They wouldn't sell it to me. Again, I was still kind of cocky, and I had a chance to buy a place in Pauline, Iowa. And I bought that and had a couple of lean years, but from then on we did pretty well. Pretty well anyway. Then my son was born, Richard. If you want to step over here, then they can see you, Rich. You can walk across.
48.
Yeah. Yeah, 1948 in July. My son Richard was born. And that was the extent of my family, or so I thought. Now,
told me about Patsy, didn't you?
She's not here yet.
We'll see
yeah,
her later.
Patsy isn't here yet, but she was born right in between the two of them. And so I thought
He helped deliver the kids.
I did help deliver Bonnie, my first child, yes, because the nurse had a broken leg.
Okay, they saw us.
And, the nurse had a broken leg, and so I had to act as nurse with the nurse's supervision, which shocked the daylights out of me. However, it was a good experience. And where was I before you interrupted me? Okay, we were in Paulina, and I thought, well, now my problems are over. I'll raise them, send them to college, and that's it. And now I've got 7 grandkids, and ranging from 16 to 2.5. Incidentally, she needs her comb. That's my
youngest.
youngest.
Grandpa, so you can see
There.
some of his grandkids.
And there's Sammy, and Rachel just left. And we have Richard, or Angie rather.
You go sit by Grandpa so you can see the grandkids.
So they can
You go
see.
sit on Grandpa's lap.
Yeah, come on. There's Angie.
You at the end.
That's Angie Sup, Sammy Sup, and Rachel Sup. And then we have coming up Summer Liventals and Chad Liventals. That's my younger daughter's children. And we also have coming up Matthew, who is the eldest, Matthew Croft, and Nathan Croft. And yep, that's about all of my life. I think I see the car coming now. Yeah, with the rest of them.
I can tell the camera goes back.
There you go.
There we go. Okay, I want you to meet my youngest daughter, Patsy. Would you come over here behind me and show up? And right behind you, let's have my favorite daughter-in-law come up, Sue. Sue Sup, and this is Patsy Liventhal. And then let's have her, Patsy's husband, Harry Liventhal, come up. And let's see, we'll start from the
Well, howdy, you all.
fine.
How you all doing?
And then we'll have Matthew and Nathan Croft come up. Matthew's my eldest grandson, and Nathan's his brother.
Grandson's not supposed to stand in front of us.
And
Well, they're Bonnie's kids.
then we have Chad. Is Chad here? Chad, come up here. And Summer, come up here. Chad and Summer Liventhal.
Yes.
And then we'll run through. Sue, did I introduce you?
Yeah.
Oh, very good. Okay, that's Sue. And
We
yeah.
got one more
Okay,
here.
and Angie and Chad, you all, and Rachel, just well come up here too.
Sam, too, you go up there.
Sam, you
Come
can
on,
just go.
Sam.
And Rachel, you
Of
go
course,
get on
you
Grandpa's
met
lap.
Angie
Come on,
already.
I'll take it. We got Grandpa.
She don't want to. Oh, Grandpa needs you.
I'll
Okay.
carry you.
Oh, that's
We'll
nice.
go around this way.
There's my youngest granddaughter, of course, coming up for her second bow.
Kid, you want to
and
go right
here
up
she
front, Grandpa here?
Huh?
No, I'm already on there. We got just before you came.
There you are.
There's
Okay.
all the
Far enough.
I only,
grandkids.
yeah. Incidentally, I
Yeah.
was one of 10 kids, and there are 8 of us left. And I hope that my kids and grandkids get along as good together as we do. That's my fervent wish.